I've seen Jimmy dance, and I can tell you with certainty that your boy is about to rock the glitzy and glamorous world of entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment.
Well, Salim and Suleiman, it is such an honor and a pleasure to have you both on Filme Shilmy. Salim, we're speaking after 2 years, like we just mentioned. I think we spoke in lockdown, and now you're back at the West End with Disco Dancer, the musical, which sounds extremely exciting. So I think, tell me, when we mentioned Disco Dancer, we mentioned Bapida. This is a massive shoes to fill. So how was your sort of experience of maintaining originality whilst recreating classics for the show?
Well, first of all, this you know that disco has been around for many, many, many decades, and it's something that resonates with all generations. It is a genre. It's a form of music that really, is really makes you happy. Brings a lot of celebration to your to your heart, and that is one big reason why Disco Dancer, the original film, back in the 80s, was one of the biggest films in that whole decade. Would you know that is one film that did that 100 crore mark then in
Yeah.
1980? Of course, great music by the late Bapi Lahiri ji, incredible direction by B. Subhash, and the superstar Mithun Chakrabarti. And we were, a couple of years ago, we brought Umrao Jan to London, and we wanted to do something big after that. We had started working on the Disco Dancer back then. We got we got blessings from the late Bapi Lahiri ji. Then he was very happy that we were at that time in 2019. He was very happy that we were going to reimagine, the movie and the songs for a stage musical. And one thing he told me that, I'm very happy that you guys are doing it because y'all are the only guys in India who would be able to justify this. And that stayed with me. And we had to make sure that the authenticity of disco, the authenticity of Bapi Lahiri's music, every interlude, every tune, instrumentations is intact, will be intact, and now is intact for the musical. We've composed 2 original songs, especially for this musical.
Oh, wow.
And which really weaves into the screenplay beautifully, also resonates, the 80s in a very beautiful way, and also resonates the stage theatrics in a beautiful way. But the rest of the songs are, of course, the original songs of Bapi Lahiri ji, and we wanted to make sure that it just comes across as authentic as possible because it had a great sense of celebration back then.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that was so vivid. Thank you so much, Salim, for that. Suleiman, would you like to add anything to that as well?
Yeah, you asked us about why this one. So, the most important thing was this film is complete Bollywood, as I would call it.
Yeah.
Over the top, rags to riches, the ultimate Hindi film story. Great music, great drama. Everything was over the top, and so it was just perfect to pick up a script like that. And it's at the end of the day, it's disco, and it's a celebration, and it's beautiful costumes, and everything that was needed to make a theatric production like this. So that was the whole point. And then, of course, the music really has stayed with us for generations and decades. This was 1980s, and you're listening to it in 2020, and you still feel that, wow, this music was really, really amazing. And so we've managed to keep the authenticity and the integrity of the music just the way it was, just as the original. And just given it a little more style, a little more substance for 2022.
Yes, absolutely. And I must tell you both, actually. I remember watching Aaja Nachle, and believe it or not, Aaja Nachle is one of my favorite films. And the way you did the scoring for the Leila Majnu play in that.
Yes.
I think that honestly that has stayed with me for years, and that's why whenever I hear whether you're working on a Beyond Bollywood or you're working on a disco dancer, for me, whenever I know that you're doing the scoring or doing the music, I know for sure कि उसमें एक रूहानियत आएगी, एक ऐसी मतलब it'll really strike a chord. So I think when it does come to theatre and films, because mood तो वही है, characters के emotions भी वही है, but do you feel there is a slight change in grammar when you are scoring or when you are creating music for a theatrical show? Salim?
Yeah, of course, there is a, you have to do a lot of prep, make sure that, uh, the scenes, they come together in a very sort of organic way. There's no cut, there's no, screen, there's nothing like, retake or anything like that. So everything has to be seamless. There is background music, which has to sync really well with the songs so that the entire thing seems very seamless. When the actors are singing, they need a little rest after that, after the choreography is done. So, we need some time to sort of do an overture or a piece where, there's a costume change and there people go backstage and, there is a narrator walks in or some other actor walks in. So there's a scene change and there's everything. So there's a costume change. So all these things one has to take care of. And apart from that, it's important that, even as a singer, because he's dancing or she's dancing nonstop, you've got to make sure that the singing is not as elaborate. Certain interludes are slightly longer than we do some repeats, etc., because that gives some more dancers to fill in the space for the singers if they have to go back again and come out for the next stanza with a different change. So all these little things that we had to take care of, and I'm so glad that it's turned out to be so amazing. This particular film has a lot of drama as well because
Yeah.
uh, there is this whole mother situation, mother dying, and this how the main character is so close to the mom, and his whole life gets ruined, and of course the mother's dream is to sort of have him as the superstar, and he lives his mother's dream. So there's a lot of emotion apart from the happiness and celebration. There's a lot of drama and emotion, and there's a tad bit of sadness as well, which makes this whole musical very wholesome and
Yeah.
entertaining for the viewer.
And I think also what will always be very special is for me is Rajesh Khanna. I think my earliest memory of disco dance is Goro ki
Absolutely,
na kalo ki duniya hai dilwalo ki.
absolutely,
So I think that
yeah.
for me that was
And
always
you really have to see this musical to see how beautifully we brought the Goro Kina Kaloki theme
oh,
and the whole sentiment of the father and how it all comes back. It's really beautiful.
oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's wonderful. I can't wait to watch the show now just for that reason actually. I think it sounds
Yeah.
really exciting. But Suleiman, I think I think it would be wonderful to know about some of maybe the challenges you faced with this production in particular. And obviously the fact that you both are so harmoniously together, I think, on everything. Like Salim-Sulaiman doesn't even seem like two different people. It just seems like one name, to be very honest. I
Like
think
this
that's what.
gorgeous fake Jan Salim-Sulaiman.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's a
Wahi,
bit
wahi.
cheesy.
So, when it comes to the sort of creative collaboration, how important is it to actually be on the same page as your partner?
We don't really have to be on the same page. We have to be on the same music
Right.
together. So, we have a lot of arguments and we discuss. They're all very healthy arguments because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that the music that comes out stands out and sticks out from the clutter that is around you. And we all strive to achieve that clutter breaking music or sound or something that brings attraction to the music that we are making. And so, even if we have to argue about it, we do.
Right. And actually a fleeting thought had just passed my mind because it's wonderful how the West End has really evolved in showing Indian musicals. We obviously had Bombay Dreams back in like almost a decade ago, 2 decades ago actually. Then obviously beyond Bollywood, Merchants of Bollywood came along, and now obviously the film adaptations. But I think, as I'm sure you all must be seeing, this massive influx of South films in India at the moment and the popularity it's gaining. How far away do you think are we of seeing a musical which actually is an adaptation of a South film, actually, Salim. How far away do you think are we from that?
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens very soon, because I don't think we are very far away from it. It's films in India have firstly they have a lot of them have music. Mostly all of them have music, and they have a lot of dance and choreography. So that itself is a very big element of a stage musical, right? The dancing and the music. It's a musical, and almost every film in India is a musical, whether it's from Tamil, whether it is Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, or Hindi. So that itself is like, so I don't think we are far away from it. I mean, but to put a proper stage musical, it requires and it takes a lot of effort. There are lots of things, where the actors have to be dancers, singers, and actors. So all three probabilities, and these criterias are very important. If you cannot be just one or just two. You have to have all three. So it is a little bit difficult, to put this whole production together. The
And
amount of
you could be a great singer and a great actor, but if you have two left feet, then you're not going to cut it.
The amount of rehearsals, the amount of time put in for prep, for production is a lot. Everyone has to work like a team. Every person is important. Whether you're an engineer, you're a production person, you're stage hands. You all work like a team. It's like one family. You may be the main lead, but your importance is exactly as much as the stage hands, who come and change the sets. So there is a lot of things that a theater production needs to have, and everybody needs to follow that code and that love and that relationship and that self-respect for each other. So even though it's very easy, I mean, it looks like it's simple. It's not very easy to put this across, because you have to have that sentiment, that respect, that sensibility, to execute this.
Right. Before we go, बिछड़ते बिछड़ते एक गाना हो जाए, थोड़ा सा, just a little line, Salim, if you could sing.
याद आ रहा है तेरा प्यार, कहाँ हम कहाँ तुम, हुए तुम कहाँ गुम, आ भी जा एक बार, हो याद आ रहा है तेरा प्यार.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Salim and Sulaiman. It was such a pleasure to have you on Filme Shilmy, and wishing you all the very best for Disco Dance, the musical.
So much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.